Oh, it's already recording.
Is this thing on?
What's that?
It's Popular Gloss Brilliant.
Popular Gloss Brilliant. John Cena. I don't have to burp though. It's gonna stink because I just ate that quesadilla. Sorry guys, we went to dinner today and I ate Carly's leftovers because he only had 2 pieces. Hey YouTube!
Hi, welcome to our second
round 2
TTC. We are gonna be talking about Clomid today. Carly being on Clomid and Jackson being on Clomid. And where we stand at right now as of more information about Jackson. And
I think the Clomid is gonna be the majority of it.
Yeah.
And you can hear our dog barking in the background.
Amigo.
And then we're gonna talk about my kidneys.
Yeah. So first off, if you guys are new and you haven't seen our first TTC, I'm gonna leave that down in the description box below. So go watch that. So it explains a lot more of our journey, where we started and now where we're at right now. The doctor, when we left the appointment, they had ordered that sperm test for you, and that came back. We realized, because they were going to, a lot of people asked on the live hangout that if I had gotten any testing done, and Dr. Jones was like, no, we're not going to do testing on me at first because I have had a baby. And so, and
you went in for your checkup in November.
Yeah, and everything looked good. But he just said, you know, we'll start with Jackson. Doesn't mean that we're not going to return to testing with me. But right now we think we've found what has been happening, which was the varicocele's down. And then we thought it was maybe the possibility of the kidney. So now it's good to start kind of like canceling things off of our list. So he said that he would just start me on Clomid, and that's where we're at right now.
So fast forward a couple weeks, well, almost a month and a half actually, because of insurance. That was a nightmare. So I would recommend double, triple checking your insurance before you try to go to the doctor. So I'm gonna have to pay out of pocket for some of the visits, which that's fine, whatever. But I moved states, and so my insurance lapsed, and I didn't realize that. So I had to do the special enrollment for Idaho, go through the thing, and it took another, you know, prove my new address. It took another 2 or 3 weeks for that to go through. So I go get a kidney scan, CT scan. They hook me up to the IV. They inject me with the saline and the flush and iodine, and that was totally weird. It felt like my crotch was on fire. It was so weird. It was like, she's like, you might feel a little bit of a burning sensation. I'm like, a burn? Yep, I feel it. So go through the scan, get done with the CT scan about 3 o'clock, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna call them at 4:30 for the results.
Because they said they would have the results within 2 hours. So,
yeah,
we're doing the waiting game thing.
The CT scan went through, then they have to send the results to the radiologist.
Tech. To be able to read, right?
Well, just the radiologist. And then the radiologist gives the report back to my urologist. And I didn't hear from him at all. And that was the day we actually filmed our first TTC, so I didn't know. The next morning I'm driving to work, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm just gonna call him. And I call him, and they're like, okay, results came back. No tumor, no kidney stone, no cyst, no growth. Everything is functioning normal. It did reveal the varicocele, and it's not caused by any abnormal kidney function. So I've got 2 healthy kidneys. I was so relieved. But varicose veins run in my family, and so they said that's probably the reason. It's just genetic. It's not life-endangering. It's not life-threatening. Don't have to get them fixed at any point, and it will not affect my health. But if you do get them fixed, then it increases your chance of pregnancy. So, and I misspoke in the last video. I said that we had a 1% chance, which we do. But when I broke down the math, I was just talking about my odds. So when you add hers and mine, it brings it to about 1.1%. And so people jumped all over us for that one. But
not me. I wasn't claiming that I knew the math. I was
at any point,
that's all on him.
We're taking 0.1s here, adding to our side. So that was a huge relief to me.
Yeah,
I mean,
thank you guys for all your
jeez.
prayers and your support. We got a lot of messages, and that was so nice to hear. And I was really grateful. I'm grateful to do things like this because I feel like when you go through them, you think that you're a little bit alone, or there are things that are conditions that you would never, in your whole life, you lived 25 years and you had no idea that you had varicocele down your balls. But then doing this and putting it out in the world, I actually have read a lot of people commenting that they went through the same thing, their husband went through the same thing, got it fixed within a month or 2 months, they were able to get pregnant. So that's where we're at right now. We're just trying to plan a time where we have like a good amount of downtime. It's about a week downtime for Jackson where he can get the surgery, have the downtime. I'm not going anywhere, you're not going anywhere. And so we're just trying to plan that right now, but also we don't want to wait too long because, you know. So now that's where we stand. I'm on Clomid, Jackson's been on Clomid. Which was kind of interesting when the doctor was like, yeah, actually we're gonna put Jackson on Clomid. Ellie and Jared actually told us that that wasn't a possibility. It does the same thing for men that it does for women. It's a little bit different though. I think the intensity and the dosage is a little bit different because women only have to take it for 5 days and it's a full pill. Jackson only takes half a pill for 30 days.
I take a half a pill every day.
Yeah, so for women, if you guys get on Clomid, maybe you won't have this experience, and I pray that you don't, but for me, Clomid has been really hard. You start taking it on your 3rd day of your period, and you just take the pill for 5 days. I honestly felt so like lethargic and tired. I didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to see anybody. I just kind of like holed up with my sweatpants and laid on the couch, and it was hard. It like made me feel really emotional, and it really like made us feel detached as a couple. I had some crazy thoughts. I wouldn't say suicidal thoughts, but I felt like if I die right now, it's not a big deal, it's fine. Like I just had really low thoughts, and I don't know if it was because of the surge or the hormones or what, but I could just definitely tell a significant difference when I was on the Clomid compared to when I was off of it. We have faith that it's all going to be worth it if it's going to help having a baby, but just prepping some of you women if you're going to be on Clomid. And like I said, it might not happen to you, that might not be your situation, but for me, not a fun thing to be on the Clomid at all.
So she started Clomid a month or so before I did, and so she was the only one on Clomid at first, thank goodness, because it really kind of messes with you emotionally. And I asked the doctor before she started, I said, hey, are there any side effects here? You know, I'm thinking like, you know, negative health, physical side effects. And he said, no, nothing. So I'm thinking, oh, cool, it's like a miracle drug, you know? And little did we know that it really kind of takes a toll on you emotionally and psychologically. And it definitely works, definitely is something that you should do if you're presented with it as a viable option. But it was difficult because I didn't know any of that at the time. Yeah. And when she was going through all those and having those thoughts and feeling down and depressed, it's very difficult to tie it back and say, this is an illogical thought that I'm having. It's due to the Clomid. I need to be happy. Yeah. You can't really separate yourself from the situation. You can't realize that your reality is only caused by the drug. So I didn't know what was going on. It was straining on our relationship at first because I could tell that she was, you know, I could see that you weren't acting the same. But how do you say that as a husband? Hey, yeah, you're acting like this. What's going on? Because then you can't just say, hey, feel better, you know? So then I get on the Clomid, and for me, I had to drive before to just get up and do things and be active. And the Clomid for me made me kind of just feel dull. It was just like, I don't want to be early to work. I'm going to go home from work early. When I get home, I'm just going to sit around. I want to go to bed early. I didn't really have big emotional swings, I don't think, mentally. But it just kind of like isolated me in my own world. And so now we're both these isolated people living in our own worlds. And I remember one night we were out watering, you were out watering the plants, and I was just like, what is going on? And we just sat out on our front steps and we just bashed it out. And we're really good at when we fight communicating and saying what the heck is going on and working on it. And each of us coming away with, okay, this is what I was doing, this is what the other person would like me to fix, and this is what I do need to fix. And that helped, the communication helped, but the Clomid made it difficult, because had we not been on the Clomid, I don't think we would have had that kind of divergence and that separation.
Well, it was hard because it made Jackson really like, felt like he was really withdrawn from everything. Like he didn't really have an opinion about a lot. It was just really quiet, and sometimes I can't get him to shut up. I'm like, okay, that's great, honey.
So now that we have gone through it and noticed it, it's easier.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, I got this Clomid. If I don't consciously fight against these feelings to get myself back to reality, it's just kind of like digressing, and you just end up feeling worse and worse for yourself.
Right. So we decided that we weren't gonna take it until he's had his surgery. And so, because after one round we're like, and then found out all that news, we were like, well, I guess there's really no rush to take it if he's gonna have that surgery, and that could be like a great benefit. So just like collectively as a couple, we're like, we'll just wait to take it again. I have a 3-month prescription and you have like a 3-month or a year. So that's where we stand right now. Like I said, we both know it's worth it, but it was so hard when we were in the middle. We're like, what is going on? It was really difficult, but I hope that not everybody has that experience. I've heard that some people have had a harder time and some people haven't. I was grateful that he kind of had to go through that, so it wasn't like, I think it helped you have more empathy. Not that you ever thought I was faking it or treated me like that, but it's just hard when you always hear somebody talking about the way they feel and you don't feel that for yourself. It's hard to really relate or understand.
It's like sympathy versus empathy.
Yeah.
You know? And then the other thing, it was like a sweet mercy from fate. But in the middle of it, you were on the Clomid, and we had to go to Yosemite. And we had just gone through the worst week. It was very, very emotional. We decided, okay, we're so looking forward to this break in Yosemite. We're gonna go hiking. This is in July. And we're gonna go down to Salt Lake a day early. We're gonna see my parents. We went to the mall to buy some hiking clothes. I needed to get some shorts.
The North Face store, Jackson was obsessed with finding a Yosemite shirt. And he found it with like the Yosemite dome on it.
But I'm gonna wear my shirt. But right when we're walking outside of the store, it was just like, you ever get done with the weekend, you feel like you just got beat up, and you're just like, oh, I'm so glad that it's the weekend and we have some time.
Like TJF, really, for a reason.
Perfect timing. You ran into Ellie.
Yeah.
And Jared was there, and Ashley and Mike Costa, and we started talking about it. And Jared was like, that was the worst time of my life when she was on the Clomid. And I'm like, okay, so I can understand how he felt. And then you connected with Ellie, and it was just like, I don't know if it was fate or purposeful, but we just crossed paths, and it could have been anybody.
Yeah,
happened to be them.
They live in Logan, and they were just in Salt Lake for buying stuff for their house, and we were randomly just at the mall. But like, I felt like God wanted us to cross paths.
It's like other YouTubers that went through the same thing at the same spot.
And
Mike and Ashley had gone through it.
So much better about it.
Yeah, and they said that at times, maybe I shouldn't share that, but they were all very, very emotional, on the brink of like really having ugly thoughts about themselves. So it was perfect. But the good news is, you'll go through it, you'll survive. Just know, okay, this might make me feel a little bit weird. There are other people you can go to and just try to fight it, because you can get back to normal and you can feel happy, and think about it. Your chances of having a baby are going up.
So think about it.
Think about it.
So that's where we stand as of now. We're gonna be doing another live hangout later tonight. So make sure you guys watch this, leave all your questions below, but then come and check us out at the live hangout. I know last time we said we were gonna do it on my Facebook, we thought that that'd be best, but actually we're like, no, let's just do it on the channel so that you can have video 1 and then the hangout. I just think it's a great way to answer your guys' questions really fast. And
so tweet us questions.
I think we're like both talkers, and we both have severe ADD, so when I re-edit the video and go back through it, our thoughts are like ding 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 ding, so sometimes we're kind of hard to follow.
Hey, it's what you get, sorry.
So leave any questions that you guys have for us on the live hangout and come over there and see us just being ridiculously in love and goofy, you know. Let's go make a baby right now. Thank you guys for all your support. We are headed to Washington this weekend with Cooper. We're going to Playlist Live. So if you guys are going to be there, we'd love to see you and hug you and hang out. And we'll see you next Thursday for our next TTC video. What's wrong with your eye?
I was winking.
Oh, it was just closed for a long time. I thought you got an eye in it, or eyelash in it. Do you have an eye in your eye?
I'm just saying goodbye.
Bye.